Connecticut Steel became Nucor Steel Connecticut. And by the end of that, of '06, then I was fully retired.
So you told me that you love being retired.
I tell you, if I'd known it was that much fun,
You'd have done it earlier.
But timing is everything. And originally I was aiming at '04 because that would have been age 65, but I worked on into age 67 and enjoyed it. But I'm very comfortable with the way life is currently developing. Yes, we've talked a little bit. There's travel and the fact that since Davina doesn't fly over the years, she's missed out on what could have been some interesting business-related trips. But now we have a chance to go either by rail or by car or by ship to places that I've been to a few times, and so we can do that.
So you have grandchildren over in the UK.
Yes, that's the one snag. Because I don't fly, we have 4 children. 2 boys are here, and the 2 girls are married in England with the 4 grandchildren. So, however, it's not all bad because there's a rather elegant liner that goes between New York and Southampton. And I am now, I'm diamond class now.
Because that's better than platinum.
That's better than platinum. You go from silver to gold to platinum, and now I'm a diamond member. So it doesn't get you a free cruise, alas, but at least it gets you some perks when you're on board.
Right.
So,
right. Well, you've been able to see quite a few places. You went around South America?
Yes, indeed. Well, that was the big retirement trip.
Yeah, okay.
And I must admit, I wasn't wholly gung-ho, because I said to Gus, South America's hot, and I'm a cold climate person. I like the New England winters. But it was really one of the most fantastic trips that I think anybody could take. And the plus about retirement, we had the whole 66 days to do it. We had the time to do it.
And your career allowed you to have that kind of
I could take the 2 months off,
right.
which is very nice, because I'd worked very hard that year and had completed the books. And I knew there were a couple waiting for me when I came back, which is exactly what happened. So, yeah.
Well, you obviously, they have deadlines, and so there are times, must be, that you miss books, opportunities if you are traveling.
Yes, that is the one snag, and it's like anything, it's almost out of sight, out of mind.
Yes.
Hopefully you've established a rapport with an author. I mean, I've done a lot of Diana Gabaldon books, and the Anne Perry books, and the Hamish Macbeth. So hopefully when those newer ones come out, providing the contract is there.
Yeah.
And when I first started, the books were classic, and they were out, and it was public domain. It didn't matter when they came out.
Right.
Then, once a book had established itself as a bestseller, and we got the library contract, then they would do the audio. Now, get the audio out as the book is published.
Yes, I saw
and that's
that,
when
yes.
it's deadline.
Yes.
And I've just finished, not just last summer, was Alexander McCall Smith's Sunday Philosophy Club. He did number 4, and that was released in July at the same time as the book was released.
Right.
And that's when the deadlines come.
Right.
Because I twice, and this is not a happy situation, you can't read the full book because it hasn't been proofed. Oh. And in fact, the last Gabaldon, The Snow and Ashes, I was reading and not knowing what the ending was, and I didn't know what the characters were. Because very often, again, at the end, the last 2 chapters is when you hit the denouement.
Right.
Well, there was one, never to begin, never to be forgotten. I thought, well, obviously this man's talking about the Beatles, he's from Liverpool. So I gave him a Liverpool accent. Turned out he was a North Plains Indian. But that's our secret. And I won't say where that was either. I don't know what the book is.
I think you won an award for that book, though.
I did.
Yes,
I did.
yes.
So in a way, maybe that's good.
Exactly.
It kept it fresh. It kept it panicky because, again, we were leaving for the UK.
Right.
And first of all, it was, are you available in June? I said, yes, I'm leaving in August. I finished the book and the retakes because, of course, at the same time you're recording the book, your engineer is making sure you're not making mistakes, but you do.
Right.
Then some soul is sitting, proofing the book, again, reading the book, watching a computer screen, thinking, oh, hiccup there, wrong word there. And this girl, as I read my 200 pages, she would then be saying, Davina, slow down, I'm 400 pages behind, and she was literally proofing. So when I finished the book, I had a day off, I went back into the studio and had 2 full days of retakes, and then we left the next day.
Interesting.
I would really never want to do that again. Never. because I felt I didn't do my best work. And yeah, I did, because I got the award. So I really prefer to do it less hurriedly, though,
Right.
to give the book its just,
Yes.
to do
Oh,
full
yes,
justice to
of
the
course,
book.
Of course. Well, is that how most books come out now, though? Where
They are beginning to, yes, because they want to get both audiences, the reader
Yes.
and the listener.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, of course, if you get with Barnes and Noble, recorded books only do unabridged, which is
Yes.
really how you should listen to a
Yes,
book.
absolutely.
Because sometimes, and I've done abridgments, and it doesn't do justice to the book. Sometimes they will cut out a whole subplot to get the abridgment,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it's a shame when that happens.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, you actually become your own sort of celebrity. I mean, when I was going online looking things up about you, Random House had something that said on the website, do you want to be notified for the next Davina Porter reading? And so people, I mean, I would certainly read any book that you read because I love your voice.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
And so does that help you in terms of, are they more likely to call you back?
Let's put it this way: if I wasn't, if people said don't want to hear her again,
No.
I wouldn't be called back.
But are you called back by the publisher, or are you called back by the author?
I'm called really by the company, by either Recorded Books or BBC America,
Right.
who, excuse me, I'm still auditioning for books. Earlier I
Interesting.
was mentioning this
Interesting.
this children's book, which is excellent, the Dream Dark series. This is a lady, it was her first book, and her contract with Recorded Books was she could have final choice of the reader.
Interesting.
So my boss called me and said, I hate to ask you this, but would you mind auditioning? I said, not at all. I mean, she has the voices of the characters in her head.
Yes.
And if I don't sound like it,
Right.
she's going to be very disappointed with the final product. But, blessed woman, she decided she wanted Scottish accents in there. And that's one thing with living with Gus for all these years I can do. So I was very happy to
Are you
audition.
not Scottish also?
No. My mother was Scottish,
Okay.
but my father was English, and
Okay.
I was born and raised in London, so I'm afraid I'm really more English than Scots. But it doesn't hurt when I have to put on one.
I was
you
going
see.
to say, I certainly would never guess that.